Recording in progress. You know, something told me like when I was doing this, I'm like, I should start recording from the moment we get on the call because I think it would be very entertaining. And then now I'm like, oh, I should have done it. That
Oh my
that was a
God.
fun start. Okay, so I'm going to start by introducing you. So this is my cousin, Erez.
Hey guys.
And oh my gosh, there's so many things. Well, you're just such an interesting person, and especially for this class, because you know we have to choose different spheres. And so I thought, okay, well, I want to interview someone for the LGBTQ sphere. But you fit into so many different categories because you are also an immigrant. You're first generation here, which is interesting because you're from Israel.
Correct.
And I am from here, but we are fathers grew up as brothers in Iran.
Correct.
So we're both Persian. We're both half Persian.
That's right.
And we both originally had the same last name, Soleimani, which is now
Correct.
both been changed to Solomon. So
That's right. And it's the credit is only to your dad because my dad took it from your dad when your dad did it and said, hey, Dr. Solomon sounds easier than Dr. Soleimani. And my dad, who was not a doctor, I agree with that. I'm changing it too. I'm going to be Solomon too. And he did it right after.
oh, I didn't know that.
Uncle Hai did it. Yes.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I think they're the only ones, right? Out of the
Correct.
siblings, out of 7
Correct.
children. Yeah. So yeah, and then also, so are you legally blind in one of your eyes? So
absolutely. I used to have peripheral vision, and 2 years ago I lost it. So I am in one eye legally blind.
And what about the
Absolutely.
other eye?
The other eye has a very thick number. I know you cannot see it, but I have -8, which is huge. So which means now, even though I'm that close to the screen, I can still not see you.
Yes.
You know,
Right.
that's -8. So I call myself that I'm really handicapped when it's come to sight, because if I don't have my glasses, I cannot drive, I cannot go to work, I cannot do anything.
The word we use now, Erez, is disabled.
Which I agree. You should see me getting up in the morning and looking for my glasses.
The words are always changing. But you are legally blind then.
I have to check about that. Seriously.
You probably would be. I think you would be considered legally blind, and that you would be considered to have a disability. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to check into that. Seriously. I was just curious about that.
Yeah.
Because many people say, oh, I have some disability. And I'm like, without my glasses, I'm disabled. This is my thing. So, and people also suggest me to do the eye surgery for the good eye, and I will never do that. Ever, ever, ever.
Yeah, that's
nobody will touch my good eye. No way.
I get that.
No way.
I understand that. So yeah, so there's that. And then also you're Jewish. Obviously our family is Jewish, so that's also another thing too. It's like just
correct. So
a very interesting person for
and actually
to learn about from.
That's right. So when I immigrated to the United States, in one flight, I became from majority living in my country as a Jewish person, 80% Jewish. In one flight, I became a minority.
Yeah.
You know, because now I was, whatever the percentage of Jews in the United States is, very low. So that was also, I think, 3%, something like that. It's Jews in the United States.
Really? That's it? 3%?
Yeah. In United States, there are 6 million Jews. 6 million divided by 310 will give us...
There's so many more.
No.
Oh, well.
It is a 1%. Absolutely. It's 1%. The big two centers of Jewish population in the world are Israel and the United States.
Wow. Well,
Six
too bad
and
my
eight.
ovaries won't be contributing to the population.
And yeah, I know, and mine, not ovaries, but I saw a cute T-shirt recently says, "My family tree ends here," with an arrow.
Oh, that's funny.
That's where it ends.
Okay. All right. So what we're going to predominantly talk about here is being gay and your experience, especially in Israel versus here, and just if you could share a little bit about your experience growing up, how you explored that, and all that kind of stuff.
Yes, so growing up, thank God I did not come from a religious background. That was a big helpful thing for me because I see friends here and in Israel who did grow up in a very religious background, including my late husband, who was not Jewish, but still, when religion is hovering over this, it's, in my view, making the situation 10 times worse because you are not just sinning for your family, you are sinning against God. So I did not have that issue of sinning against God because my dad didn't care about religion. My mom did, but it didn't take much, in the family. So I was very closeted, joining the army, serving my 3 years. People always ask me, when did you know you are gay? I think I knew that I'm gay at 6th or 7th grade. I realized that I have no interest in women. I was only interested in the boys in the class, looking at them or looking at their pictures at year-end book or, you know. So I knew that very, very well. And I knew that I also have to hide it very well. Joining the army, I actually had both at the same time. I had a hidden boyfriend, and to the society, I had a girlfriend. Moving on two different tracks, the situation with a girlfriend moves, of course, much faster. And it was like, well, we were almost at, we were dating for 2 years. And we were coming to the time where you are meet the parents, which I said to myself, oh, I really felt that I'm about to drive over a cliff to do that. And I remember talking with your parents and saying, oh, I would like to come to study because I visited the United States before my army service. And your parents said, oh, that would be great. We would love to help you. So I kind of cling to that as an excuse, saying to my girlfriend, and I have to go and get my education and I have to go to the United States.
Well, you're
And
welcome.
yes. and I knew that she would not come.
Yeah.
Because she was very close to her family. So that was an excuse to get out and come. And I just remember it so well that just even landing here, I felt so this out of that pressure cooker that I had in Israel of married and married and married. And I felt so good in that sense that that pressure was lifted.
Yes.
I came at age 23, and it felt so good that I can breathe. Nobody will ask me to get married here, So, and that's honestly how I felt. And that's mainly it regarding the growing up in Israel, finishing the army, realizing that I cannot come out. My family is conservative, not on a religious basis, but conservative on social basis. Of course, we don't want to hear that. What's that? Everybody get married and having kids. So I felt really, really good coming here.
Mm-hmm. So is that where you started doing most of your exploring when you were here? Oh, you mentioned that in Israel you did have
I absolutely did, because my hometown is a very small town, 40,000. I used to take the train. The train was for free for soldiers, and I used to go all the way to the main city, Tel Aviv. Back then, there was no internet, and gay men in Israel used to meet in parks. That was a gay park. You go to the park and you cruise people, and many people do have a sexual act in the park because half of them are closeted. Some of them are like me, soldiers that cannot bring the guy to wherever. So it was Independence Park, but the three major cities, Haifa, Tel Aviv, and Jerusalem, had their parks. In Tel Aviv, it was called Independence Park.
Oh, wow.
And I met my first boyfriend. He was a Canadian Jew who immigrated to Israel, and we started dating. And later on, I met the other thing at the same park, but I also remember what it was in the 80s to meet someone, There is no cell phones.
Right.
You have to go and get a PO box. You have to put an ad in a paper. You have to go and collect your mail. You have to set up a phone call, and many times stand in a public phone booth waiting for a phone call from a guy. So now when I see it, that everybody can go on the internet and the chat rooms and, all the dating apps, I'm not even talking about computers, let's just talk about phones, it's such a total different world.
Different world.
Totally different world. So
what about, so has the army changed in Israel? Well, how does the army look upon it now?
The army, because mandatory service is required in Israel, boys and girls. Many guys actually said, hey, I'm just going to tell them I'm gay and I'm not going to serve. So the state of Israel said, Now, even if you are gay, everybody is serving.
Yes.
Everybody. So saying that you are gay would not help you much. But yes, I cannot say that the army was totally liberal. God knows how many people served and did not say a word that, they are homosexuals.
Yes.
Or I'm sure lesbians.
Yep.
And it's still if they thought that it's jeopardizing your position, they will dismiss you. They still had the power. They told you first, we don't care. Right? We don't care that you are gay. You have to serve. Everybody's serving. But if they saw that you are under pressure, as being a gay person, and that might compromise your position, then they can dismiss you. And I have friends who have been dismissed from the army, exactly like what happened in the United States during Bill Clinton presidency and before with, don't ask, don't tell, the compromise that Bill Clinton reached with the army that actually caused more gay men to be dismissed from the army than before. Clinton was thinking that, oh, it's a good compromise. Actually, it was unintended consequences of that policy.
Yes. So what about trans or non-binary?
This, I must say, is only recent. And when I say recent, in the last 10 years. And at the moment, I do not know how they serve in the Israeli army. I think that they do. I do not know the details because I haven't lived in Israel for the last 32 years.
Yeah.
So trans is really an issue in so many levels. I'm a kindergarten teacher, and I see trans issue at junior kindergarten age. So I'm fascinated by it. How, a person that early in the age knows, looking at the mirror and say, that's not who I am.
Mhm,
I'm not that. I'm the opposite sex. I
mhm.
want to be a man or I want to be a woman. Just fascinating, the whole area of transgender.
Mhm.
And I
Yes,
think very, very complex, very, very complex in
it
my
is
view.
very complex. Yes, it certainly is. So what ages are the kids in your class?
Mine 5 and 6. JK is 4 and 5.
Okay. And tell us about the school that you teach at.
I teach at Chicago Jewish Day School. It's non doesn't have any movement. It's not Orthodox. It's not Reform. It's not Reconstructionist. It's everything. Every Jew can come to our school as long as they accept those rules, which is pretty unique because growing up in Israel, it's either Orthodox, it's a
Mhm.
yeshiva. There is no in between. So
Yeah.
it's pretty unique school in that sense.
So, but an Orthodox probably wouldn't be going there, right? Because they would
We
be,
do have, we
oh,
do
do you
have
have Orthodox
Orthodox.
there too?
We
Oh,
do
okay.
have not the Orthodox that you might think of with the black hat
Yes,
and
yes.
ultra
That's in
Orthodox.
I live in the midst of it. Yeah.
Yes, but we have modern Orthodox,
I,
which wear talis 24/7 and a yarmulke 24/7, but they are modern Orthodox.
okay. Gosh, there's so many different,
Exactly.
yeah. So then what's the most called? Hasidic? Is that the most? Is that
Yeah,
the
it's
one?
no, there is more than a Hasidic. There is the ultra Orthodox.
Yes.
This group really doesn't even believe in the existence of the state of Israel,
Oh,
and
wow.
they are really helping like the PLO and other organization that want to eliminate Israel seriously because they don't believe that the state of Israel will exist only till the Messiah comes. So they burn the flags of the state of Israel. They live, some of them outside of Israel. Many of them lives in Jerusalem and Bnei Brak in Israel, but they are the ultra Orthodox.
Mm,
They take the Bible literally word by
mm.
word.
Yeah, I guess in every religion, there's so many interpretations, and they
That's
all,
right.
it's interesting because everyone thinks that theirs is the one. Well, they can't all be, or maybe they can all be. It's kind of just what,
Exactly.
yeah, what you believe, what you make your own reality, right?
Right.
Okay, so let's talk about your experience then here in the US. How's your experience been? And maybe also you can share when it became your experience of when gay marriage was legalized in Chicago, in Illinois. It's Illinois, right? It's a state, or is it just the city?
No, it became federal at 2012, where the case made it to the Supreme Court. So you are right. In the beginning, states did it, and the state of Illinois had a civil union, and then we married under the civil union. But I, in my specific case, needed also for immigration purposes. So my lawyer said you have to cross the Mississippi River and go to Iowa, where it was called marriage. So I got married twice.
Mm.
In Iowa, it was marriage. And then the Supreme Court, made it the law of the land. So even if you are a conservative Southern state, you have to recognize gay marriage because
Mm.
it's a Supreme Court decision, and actually only by one vote. One vote can change the lives of millions of
Oh,
people.
isn't that
That's
crazy?
that's the importance of who sits on the Supreme Court.
Wow.
It can be abortions, it can be gay marriage, it can be million other issues. That's how important what people sit on that
Yeah, it
court.
really is, isn't it?
That's right.
So speaking of marriage, let's talk about your dear Bobby.
Yes, so I met Bobby in 1996. I had other relationships before Bobby. I met a guy named Arnaldo. We used to live 2 years together. Didn't work out. After Arnaldo, I met Charlie. We did not live together. That was for 9 months. And after Charlie, I met Bobby. All of these guys, I did not meet in a bar. I don't like to drink alcohol, so I don't go much to the bars. But there was before the internet, there was meeting on phone lines where you literally click, and once you disconnect, you are moved to the next person who called that line and say, what do you want? What are you looking for? Blah, blah, blah. That's how I met Arnaldo. And after that, the internet came, AOL chat rooms.
Oh, yes, the chat room.
Yes, and it was Mail for Mail Chicago. That was literally
Yeah.
the name of the chat room. And I remember talking with Bobby because Bobby left a lasting memory on me because he asked, what's your name? And I typed Erez, Erez. And Bobby went, oh, you're an Israeli. And I'm like, oh my God, somebody knew. It's like somebody looked over my shoulder. I'm like, how did you know? And he go, I know, I traveled in the world, I know it's an Israeli name. So I was very impressed by that. And we met after that, that we kind of knew each other online. And it's really took that from there, meeting, getting together, going out to dinner, and that's again was winter of 1996.
Wow, I didn't know it was that long that you guys were together.
Yes, it was. Well, it took us a long time to move in together because we still believed, give your partner a space because Bobby was after 25 years of relationship living with his partner, who cheated on him. And it really ended the relationship. It was weird because they kept living together after the breakup because they shared this property that they lived in. And I was also, as I just said before, after 2 relationships, and I'm like, let's keep our spaces a little bit to ourselves and still, maybe take the bad things out of a relationship of the daily life and just go to theater, travel together, and
Yeah,
it really worked for us.
oh my God, that sounds great.
Seriously, it worked for us so well. So well. It's, you know, we had our independence
Yeah.
on many levels. We didn't get too much in each other's lives. And again, I think we were a product of previous relationships that brought us to this. So when Bobby said, listen, I'm not looking to move in together tomorrow. And I said in my heart, thank God for that, because it's really, I really admired this in him, that he didn't need this validation. Oh, I need to be with somebody that, will tell me that I'm the greatest every morning and I love you. And, we felt the love inside, but it's not, my first relationship, as I said, with Arnaldo, it was he was very insecure. And it really kind of scarred me to a sense that I did not want to be with another insecure person. I wanted to be with somebody that says, this is who I am. I know my value. I don't need affirmation every single day, stuff like that. So that was the thing with Bobby.
So yes, Bobby has passed and we miss him.
That's right.
It was always, yeah, Bobby always he was always smiling and laughing, and yeah, he was a pleasure to be around.
Yes, he knew how really to have fun. He was a world traveler. He was
Yes,
an art
art.
collector.
Oh my gosh,
Art.
he loved art.
Oh my God, this guy, he like cook, he like entertaining people.
Yes,
It's
yes,
only, I think that we really appreciate people more when they're gone. I really, really
yes,
do. Because so many, so many. His love for theater. Oh my God.
yes.
I've never seen someone who loves live theater more than Bobby. Never.
Don't you love that? It's so nice to see someone who's so passionate about something like that.
Exactly.
Just
Exactly.
infectious,
And
contagious. It makes you want to have that same passion in your life.
that's right. And I remember when we met, and he go, do you like musicals? And I'm like, no, because people standing in a serious situation, and all of a sudden, oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what a beautiful day. So I'm like, no, that's not for me. But oh my God, how I learned through him
Yeah,
to love Broadway shows.
I
Oh,
do too. I love it. I love it.
and
We should go to a show
musicals.
sometime next time I'm in town.
Yes,
Next time
yes.
I'm in Chicago,
Oh,
wearing my Chicago
Chicago.
shirt.
You can live in LA, darling, but in your heart, that will always be your
Oh,
city.
yes, yes.
That will always be your city. I mean, yeah, you can live and love other places, and I know the weather is much better, but it's a place you grew up. I know that feeling because I know how I feel when I go out to my hometown. I'm like, it is so emotional for
Oh,
me to
yes.
go and drive and see it. This is where I used to, walk and, my childhood. So
Well, I say LA has my heart, but Chicago has my soul.
that is right.
Yes,
That
my
is right.
soul is in Chicago.
Exactly.
So I was wondering if you've had many experiences with discrimination or people being unkind or anything like that.
Actually, I think that society accepted me way faster than I accepted. I always accepted myself, but I'll give you the example. I went in 1996, interestingly enough, the same year that I met Bobby, but before I met Bobby, in that year, but before I met Bobby, I went to interview at Temple Shalom, where I still teach. And I remember that boyfriend that I told you about was holding my hand, and I slapped his hand when the principal came. And then she take me up for an interview. And in 1996 at Temple Shalom, she doesn't know I'm gay. And she's telling me, Erez, you have to understand that some of the kids in your class have two dads and some of them have two moms. And I'm like almost falling from my chair and like telling in my heart, so what are you so afraid of? If she's telling you that, the principal.
Yes,
So
yeah,
I knew that I arrived at the right place to work. And um it was like, that's one example of the acceptance that I was talking about, in a sense of, yeah, it's not a big deal. And honestly, this is one of the things I love the most about living in America, because in Israel, everybody still, they want to know, and
yes.
what I love about America, like, you say, I'll just put it as my one of my best friend, when I came out to her and she said, Erez, I said, Joy, I'm gay. She goes, so? My sister is a lesbian. And then she said to me, Erez, you might come out to people and they'll tell you that they already know somebody who is gay. So don't be so shaken and afraid and, oh my God, you're going to flirt me. And she was so right about that.
Yeah.
She was so right. So I took her advice, and you know,
How about with
it
your
was
family though?
my family, way before I met Bobby, accepted me because my parents came. I do not remember what age, what year I was when I turned 36. I can calculate that. And we went on a cruise, and they saw for years and years that I do not have a girlfriend. And my dad literally said, so one night on that cruise ship, I just want to know, is Bobby a friend or a friend? And I said, Bobby is a friend. So, and my dad, which is actually the biggest moment in my life, really, said, hugged me, and we cried a little bit. And he said, it doesn't matter. I love you. You are my son.
Oh,
And it does not matter,
oh,
So that
oh,
was
that's
my
so
biggest.
nice. That's so
That,
great that you had such an experience like that.
yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't even
Exactly.
remember like us even having a conversation about that because I always had an idea. When you were living with us, I was like, yeah, but we never talked about it. It was never spoken of.
Exactly. Exactly right. You had a good working gaydar,
Oh
but
yeah.
also maybe because you had some friends, Becky, that I'm sure that I'm not the first gay person you knew.
No,
I'm sure that
definitely not.
not
Definitely.
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm sure of that. So you like, but I remember that I asked your father after years and years, and I said, Uncle, were you? No, I actually asked your mom. I said, Aunt, were Uncle High surprised when he found out? And she said to me, actually, he was. He was surprised. He did not see it, whatever you call see it. And, that's a thing. Again, some people can say, some people cannot. Everybody asks me sometimes, oh, do you have a good gaydar? I'm like, my gaydar has been broken a long time ago. Don't, seriously, I cannot say. And I missed twice two of my good friends. One of them was studying PhD in music and did not have girlfriend. And I was like, 100% he is gay. And it turned out to be that he is not, you
Mm,
know. So, again, I do not have a good gaydar.
mm,
Never did, actually.
mm. I think mine's
Only if I step into a gay bar, then okay, everybody here is gay. Okay, that's more my gaydar is good. Otherwise, I don't see a straight person going to a fun night in a gay bar. I don't see much.
oh, around here they do.
Oh, they do?
Oh yes.
Oh
Oh
my
yes.
God.
Just come on over to the Abbey. Oh yeah. All are welcome.
Oh my God.
Gosh, you know what's funny is like sometimes in my spin class years ago, I would play like some musicals or things like that, Celine Dion. And I would say, I'm like, class, I'm just kind of a gay man in a woman's body, and then people would be like, and then if you like became more politically correct, or they're like, you know what, you can't say that. Like, and I was like, oh, I shouldn't say that. And now I'm just like, don't tell me I can't feel like I'm a gay man in a woman's body. I do feel like that. I always felt like I had an interesting growing up. I liked to dress as a boy.
You're a
Whenever I played
tomboy.
with my sisters, I was always dressed as the boy. No, not a tomboy, the boy.
Oh,
Like when we
oh
would
boy.
make our videos, I was the boy.
Oh, I see
I
what
was
you're
always
saying.
the boy. Ironically enough, my name was Charlie. It was always Charlie.
That's your nephew.
So which is very interesting. And I was always dressed as a boy. I would do dress in boy costumes for Halloween. Like one year I was Dracula.
Oh my God.
I always wanted to do boy things like play the bass fiddle or do things, and I definitely, and I like my big muscles, and did you see that, everyone? So I feel like there's definitely, and people have told me that I definitely have a masculine side. I mean, I'm very much of a girl. I'm not questioning my gender, but I
Yes.
do feel like, I do have an affinity for gay men.
hmm I
Like
know you
with so many
have
of my
many
gay
gay
boyfriends, I
friends.
was like, oh my God, if I was a man, we would be in love.
Yeah, yeah.
A
It's
lot of them. I love them that way. But anyway, it's not about me here. But I think it's an interest, and it's a spectrum too. I feel like in society now we really like to label things. But you know what? Like everyone is a spectrum and people are fluid. And at different parts of your life, you may change or feel different or,
That is true. And it's, you can ask so many of my friends, two questions. When did you come out? And have you ever been, with a woman? And, it's like, see, well, I've been with a woman for 2 years, knowing what I'm attracted to.
Mhm.
I know Bobby has been with a woman, not one, so people do experiment. And I remember that woman that I've been with, which has been the only woman that I've been with in my life, back then I had the curiosity, if I will be with a woman, will I be able to function, sexually?
Mhm.
And I remember my boyfriend back then, he had an apartment. And I said, if you love me, you will let me explore and give the answers to myself. And he said, absolutely, go ahead.
Oh, wow.
You have to give these
Yeah.
answers to yourself.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah. That's very supportive.
Otherwise, and many don't have these questions to themselves. Oh, that's who I am, and that's it. I'm 100% all the way on here. But
Right.
again, it's a spectrum.
Yes.
Where are you on the spectrum? And
Yeah.
where are you on the spectrum of when you came out? I mean, again, I
Exactly.
was forced out of the closet by my parents at 36. Bobby passed away at 64, and he never came out to his parents.
Mm.
So, it's all a spectrum, when you felt comfortable, this is who I am, that is not going to change. And, stuff like that. So it's very, very, as I said, I truly believe that human sexuality is one of the most complex fields in the world.
It is so
And I'm not talking only about gay and not gay. I actually mainly talk about trans, which again, we started our conversation with.
Mhm.
This is actually does not have anything to do with sexuality.
Yeah, they're often grouped together. Gender and
Exactly, and
sexuality,
they should
people get
not.
confused. They don't understand. They're separate things.
Because people are so confused. Okay, so let me see. You were born a woman, you want to be a man. So who do you want to be in bed with? We need those things to put in our brain so we know where it is, how to organize it.
Mhm.
But it's so more complex than that.
Mhm.
That
And
I'm telling you
intersex.
that
They're
I'm
intersex. There are people that are both,
exactly.
born both.
And I remember when I said to my Mom, I have a 5-year-old who questioned his sexual, again, I use the wrong word,
Yes,
not
I know.
sexuality, sexual identity.
His
When he
gender. He's
looks at the
questioning his
mirror,
gender.
yes,
Gender.
when he
That's what he's
looks at the mirror, he see a boy, but he was born as a girl. And, when we talk about this whole community, honestly, as a gay man, I have the most sympathy for trans people
It's very hard.
because they do not only have to fight society and its opinions, they have to fight nature and biology as well.
Yes.
And that is so hard to do.
So hard.
So hard to do. Should I have or not a gender reassignment surgery?
Yeah.
And so much pain involved in this surgery.
Yes.
So I feel for them from here to the moon when somebody tells me I'm a transgender.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we realize how hard that is to be, in my view, way more than being gay or a lesbian.
Yes. Yes. Those are a lot of big decisions that go along with it.
That is, wow.
That's some big decisions.
I've seen a good documentary on PBS about transgender.
Oh, you should share it with me so I can watch it.
I will.
Yeah.
And how it tear apart their families.
Oh, yeah.
Because the father doesn't want hormones treatment and the mother, yes. And
Oh,
when are we going to start that? Oh my God, the decisions
it's very
that
hard.
they
Those
have
are
to
big
make.
decisions. And how do you know
Wow.
what's right? I mean, how do you don't know. Everyone's an individual, right? It's really hard to know.
Wow, wow, wow. Yeah,
Woo. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
world is full of issues, you know.
So it really feels like you always, I mean, and you've come to totally accept yourself, and you really had never had much of a hard time or felt discriminated
Absolutely.
or anything like that.
Absolutely. Because I always felt how strong my attraction to men is. Always knew that. And I knew that there is no way that it will ever change. I remember even having a girlfriend, and I truly girlfriend. And really, and I'm not just saying that, sex was great with my girlfriend, but
Mm,
mentally, I'm attracted more to a man than a woman. So I loved her. We had great relationship. It was true love. But when I walk down the street, you know, I I just know what captivates my interest. You
mhm.
know, when I remember one time I had a friend and she came with her hot boyfriend, and I was like talking to her, but looking at him like, yeah, yeah, you know. And I'm like, if this is, you know, not a sign that, yeah, she's your friend, she's talking to you, she's saying something to you, but you are not interested in what she's saying. You're interested in her hottie boyfriend, you know, like. So I saw nowhere that it that as Lady Gaga put it, that you know the best. I was born that way.
Yes. But you're not a gold star. Is that what they call it? A gold star? 5 star? What do they call it?
What is a gold star?
It's a gold star is when you've never been with a woman.
Oh no, no, no!
When you've
I
just
don't. I did
only been
not
with
get.
men.
No,
Yeah, so I
I've
think it
been with.
is. Yeah, it must be a gold star, not a 5 star. Or
Yeah,
maybe a silver star. I don't know.
yeah. No, I'm not a gold star for sure, but I am. You know, and it's also kind of funny because I always say that I've been robbed being gay, and what I mean by that, you know, gays have good sense of fashion. Well, at least let's go with a stereotype and then tell
Okay,
you how much,
I have no
and
problem with
that's tell you how much I'm just the opposite. They know how to dress, they know how to cook, they know how to put a place together. I have none of these things, none of these traits, and I know it.
that.
And I said to Bobby, I used to say, I feel so robbed. Why did I get only this attraction to men and none of the good things that come with the gays?
You love Barbara Streisand?
Well, that's true. Thank God for Barbara Streisand. You are right. I love Barbara
So
Streisand.
that's got to give you some street cred.
Some exactly, some points.
What straight man loves Barbara Streisand? Maybe a few, but
Exactly. Only when their wives makes them, you know, go to the concert.
right.
Yeah. But yes, but again, it's just you know, people ask me, do you like to cook? I'm like, no, I order everything in. We see that you are not slave to fashion. I go, that's right. I mean, brand name and all that, you know, are
Right.
not important to me.
Good. That's a
Uh,
good thing. Make a lot
so,
of money
you
that
know, so again, I don't know, but stereotype times, you know, which I believe they are so true to so many extent. Remember, stereotype came from some truth. It
yes.
cannot be that it came from nothing,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
So anyhow, but that's being gay. So
And then Lucy too. What about Lucy? Is she
oh,
a
this
lesbian?
is the biggest gift I gave to myself in my 55 years of my life. I truly mean it. She's a little chihuahua.
Honey, she's not little. She needs a
She's
diet.
not little. She eats too much. Look at that tummy. That's daddy, because give her everything half, that he's eating. But only she knows how much this daddy loves her. And she just know it. She feels it every day.
Yeah, she does. That's for sure.
Oh, my baby.
Yeah, we both have the Chihuahua love.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
Exactly.
Was there anything else you think is important to share?
Um, else, Preston, I'm busy now. This is my roomie's dog.
Yeah, it
You
doesn't get the
cannot see
same love.
him. Yeah, I fall in love with all the dogs. That's my problem. That somebody told me, oh, if you could adopt 10 dogs, you would. And actually, they are right.
Yeah, so
I
I
would.
get
I
ya.
would adopt
I'm
10
the
dogs.
same. Yes.
But really about other things, I'm trying to think. I think I pretty much,
Yeah, that we
ex-
covered a lot. That was really good.
yeah.
Yes, yes.
Send
So
me a link so I can share it with my friends.
I will. Yes, I'm going to post it on my YouTube page, and I'll also, yeah, share the link with you. So then, yeah, you
Fabulous.
can definitely.
Fabulous.
So I'm going to stop recording now, but I'll stay on the call with you. And
Yes.
thank you so much for talking to
Absolutely,
me.
darling. Absolutely.